Hey everybody! Today we're going to talk about the 5 true signs that twin flame union is near, and I think it should be pretty clear to you by the time you're done watching this video today how it is that you can tell that these are the true signs. And that's kind of the first thing that we need to talk about. Before I get into the signs, I'm going to do a little bit of setup here, because I want you to know somebody figured it out. Somebody cracked the code on twin flames. You're looking around on the internet. There's a bunch of people telling you a bunch of different things, and I'm just another guy on the internet. So why should you listen to me, right? That's a fair question. Well, in addition to my track record, over 7,000 twin flame students, multiple students, married to their twin flame. It's all over my YouTube channel. Just go look around. I think what matters is what I say about twin flames. So stick around and watch this video to the end. What I'm going to share with you today is different, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can tell that. So here's the thing. Everybody, and I mean everybody, no matter what they're telling you the signs are or what to do about your twin flame, right? No matter what they're telling you with regard to what to do, right? We'll call it the prescription. Everybody's telling you the same thing as far as what twin flames are. So same description, different prescription, right? So all the signs, all the advice, here's what you do, right? That's all the prescription. Everybody's got something different. Everybody. Hundreds of people on the internet talking about this, right? And everybody's got something different. There's a lot of similarities, and then you're going to hear what I have to say about it, and you're going to be like, well, here's another guy where it's different. But here's the thing. Everybody's got the same description. Everybody. Different prescription, same description. And what is the description that everybody gives you? That twin flames are the same soul, guys. Everybody says it. No matter what they're telling you to do, no matter what they say the signs are, no matter what the prescription is, they always say the same thing about the description, what twin flames are. And that's true. Your twin flame is your soul. You are simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. Reincarnation is a widely accepted phenomenon. Everybody already knows about that, guys. You just have 2 going on right now in the same time period. Your twin flame is your soul. Your twin flame is another incarnation of your soul. And I even have a whole entire free teaching on my YouTube channel, if you'd like to go check it out, where I explain how that works. If you're interested in the science of twin flames, go check that out. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel. It's called The Science of Twin Flames, or Twin Flame Science, one of those 2. So go check it out. Go find that playlist on this channel. Now, usually what you're going to get from people online when they're telling you here's the signs that union is coming with your twin flame, they're going to give you a bunch of soulmate signs, and it's usually going to be, like a bunch of stuff out there, maybe some stuff that's going on in here, but it's mostly something that's going on out there. It's going to have more to do with psychology, which is the mind, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with psychology. There's nothing wrong with the mind. But that's what that is, guys. That's exactly what that is. And I even made a free presentation for you if you're interested. The number one mistake everybody makes, I'm going to link it down in the description box down below for you. I made a free presentation. Go check it out. It's the number one mistake everybody makes on the twin flame journey. It's a free presentation. The link is down below. Go check that out. It's absolutely free. When you find out what that is, and it's basically everybody's treating this like soulmates, which is all mental and psychological stuff, right? That's the mistake everybody makes about this, is to treat this like soulmates, okay? And that's what actually makes your twin flame run harder. This is what I figured out about twin flames scientifically, is that there is a metaphysical polarization at the level of the mind. You are polarized like yin and yang with your twin flame at the level of the mind, right? It's just like yin and yang. In the discipline of spiritualism, they call it duality. In science, they call it relativity. So this is just the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics is what is causing your twin flame to run from you. Okay? There's a real explanation for this. And it's not based on healing and clearing your karma and fixing your inner childhood wounds and all that kind of stuff. It's mechanics. It's all mechanics, guys. It's like a machine. Okay, that's all it is. That's all it is. Your twin flame is another incarnation of your soul, and there are mechanics between the two of you at the level of the mind. However, at the level of the soul, because remember, body, mind, soul, all you got to do is understand how this stuff works. Body, mind, soul. Real simple, guys. Real simple. That's what I'm all about. Back to basics. Scientific, authentic spiritualism. Your twin flame is your soul. Everybody says it. They're telling you to do all this other weird stuff. They're telling you to do all this healing, the violet flame chant, balancing your inner feminine and masculine, and on and on and on. And I'm over here going, guys, actually there is no separation. And this is exactly what the signs that I'm going to share with you today is all about. We got to first talk about what is union. We have to talk about that, guys. If you're sitting there yelling at your screen, telling me, Kurt, would you just get to the signs, please? Well, the answer is no, I'm not going to just get to the signs, please. You guys, I need to deprogram you, okay? The internet is jammed full of erroneous information. People treating this like soulmates. Once I finish this setup, then we can talk about the signs. Guys, union is not a relationship status with your twin flame, you guys. Okay, it's a state of consciousness. Unity is what that word comes from, union. It comes from the term unity consciousness. Okay, that's the soul, guys. You see, you are already not separate from your twin flame. There's no separation. That's an illusion of the mind. Separation is the mental perception of reality. That's where that word really came from, you guys. Separation, union, those are not a relationship status with your twin flame or a stage, right? So those words actually come from the Zen traditions. The teachings of separation and union are actually thousands of years old, and they've got nothing to do with twin flames. And I even made a whole entire video about it. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it down in the description box down below for you. It's called Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, and Detaching, which is another word that you hear people in the twin flame community talking about, the so-called twin flame community on the internet, and you're like, what is that? Like, what's detaching? What's that all about, right? Detaching is what happens when you transcend the separation of mind and you remember yourself as union, as already one with your twin flame. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You already are one with your twin flame. You already are. There already is not separation. Separation is the perception of mind. And the reason that you are attached to your twin flame is because you believe that you are a personality. You believe that you are the mind. And the mind perceives other who is separate from me. That makes a we. And I am attached to them. Me, them. Separation. And I can get attached because there is something outside of me to get attached to. But what happens when you go within and remember yourself as a soul, which is consciousness? It's not thought. It's not the mind. You don't understand the soul, and you don't need to. But you believe that it is you who is trying to understand me right now as I'm explaining this to you. You believe yourself to be that which understands. That's not you. You are not your mind. That is the very first thing that you learn in transcendentalism, real spiritualism, not the pop culture-y, fakey woo-woo stuff on the internet, astrology, tarot cards, crystals, all that. And I'm not saying that stuff is bad. That's just metaphysics is what that is. Spiritualism is consciousness, you guys. It's being. That's the spirit. That's the soul. That's your twin flame. And when you transcend identifying as a mind, when you go beyond believing that you are a mind, you experience yourself as consciousness, as the soul, as one with your twin flame. So you're not even one with your twin flame. There's just one of you. There's not two. There's not me and my twin flame. There's just one. There's just me. Okay? If I was to ask you, who are you beyond the mind? You're going to say, well, I'm a soul, right? But what is that? Right, it's consciousness. It's not thought, and it's not emotion either. That's the soul. That's your twin flame. You got to do soul stuff, guys. You got to get off the healing and the staying super focused on your twin flame. If you stay super focused on your twin flame, you push them away. You're pushing them away. It's simple physics, guys. Now, that's the setup. I just gave you a crash course in real spiritualism and what twin flames really are. Welcome to my channel. Let's get to the signs. Sign number 1, you're not focused on them. And that should make perfect sense to you now, because there is no them. Your perception of that there is an other, that there's me and my twin flame, there's me and them, that's gone. The mind might still say stuff about it, but that's not what you experience. You see, the soul is something that you experience. You don't think your way there. There's no steps. Like, I got to get into my soul. There's no steps. There's no getting into your soul. If you go to any one of the great spiritual masters, the super enlightened spiritual masters like Paramahansa Yogananda or Ram Dass or Eckhart Tolle or Buddha or Jesus, any one of those, the recognized spiritual enlightened masters, those guys, okay, if you go to one of them and you ask them, how did you get to enlightenment? They're going to tell you, well, once I got to enlightenment, I realized that I was always there. And you're going, what? Because you weren't enlightened before, and now you are. So you must have gotten to enlightenment. And the teacher, the master, they're going to say, well, it looks that way to you from the outside. From an outside perspective, you observing me, that's what it looks like. But that's not really what happened. I realized that I always was enlightened. Because what you're doing, my friends, is remembering yourself as consciousness, which is experienced. You feel it. It's the true self that you already are beyond the mind. The mind is thinking and trying to understand me right now. That's not you. You are this presence, this being. That's the soul, guys. So, yeah, you're not going to be focused on them because you're not experiencing them. It's just me. It's just I. That's one thing, right? So you and your twin flame are simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. You believe that this is you down here, an individual incarnation, and this is your twin flame, two physical bodies with two different minds. This up here is the real you, the higher self in heaven. And by the way, If you want to go check out, again, my Twin Flame Science playlist, I even explain how this all works and how science has actually confirmed that these higher planes do exist. They just don't tell you that on television. In fact, it's really astonishing to me how poor of a job, like the school system, for example, is doing at teaching like current modern physics, because they're still teaching like 1950s physics in high school. Guys, you would be shocked about what conversation is going on in the halls of higher education and between physicists these days. Well, anyway, this is a real thing, okay? You are consciousness, and it exists on this higher plane, which is beyond even time, okay? There's no linear time even. So you don't experience separation from your twin flame. You remember that you were this. I always was that. You disidentify from the false sense of self, which we call the personality, the ego mind. You disidentify from that, and you remember that you never were that in the first place. So yeah, you're not going to be focused on your twin flame at all. There's nothing to focus on. There's nothing out there for you to focus on at all. Okay, sign number 2, inner peace. Need I say more? What do you think the soul is? Now, I want to give you a taste of this inner peace that I speak of. Got a couple of resources for you. Grab a pen. The first is a video, a movie, a documentary film on YouTube. It's absolutely free. It's called Samadhi, right? There's 3 parts. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely free. Make sure that you watch part 1 first. Don't skip around or else it won't make sense to you. Watch part 1. Part 1 is called Maya, the Illusion of Self. Samadhi Part 1, Maya, the Illusion of Self. It's only an hour long. It's free. Go check it out, guys. It'll change your life. And a lot of what I'm talking about right now, if you've really met your twin flame, what I'm talking about and what that documentary film, Samadhi, is talking about, it'll make perfect sense to you. Okay? And you're going to be like, I know this and I get this and I don't understand why. Right? The mind, you're going to say, I don't get it, but I do. I do get it, but I don't know why I get it. Because you still are partially identified as the mind. And the mind is what you believe I to be. I am not understanding this. I know this, but I don't know why. Right. So there's 2 I's in that sentence. I know this, but I don't know why. Well, you know this as a soul. It's a knowing. It's intuitive. But then you say, but I don't know why. That's the mind. It's not, I know this, and I know this is true, and I get it, but I don't know why. It's I don't understand why, because that's the mind trying to understand. So there's a knowing, which is intuitive. It comes from the soul. You just get it when you watch Samadhi. And then there's understanding. You want to understand, but it's not you that wants to understand. It's the mind. It's the false self. And by the way, in transcendental teachings, they call it the separate self. The separate self? Yeah. You mean like separation? Right. The mind experiences separation, and they call it separation all the time. The mind. Rupert Spira, another highly recognized teacher of real spiritualism, like genuine traditional Zen spiritualism, not the woo-woo pop culture stuff on the internet. Real spiritualism, Rupert Spira, right? Non-duality spiritualism. He calls the ego the separate self all the time. You should go check him out. And another thing, again, you guys got to go check out my free presentation. It's free. The number 1 mistake everybody makes on the twin flame journey. The link is down in the description box below. And I even address that. All these different spiritual teachers are using that word separation. And I give a really thorough teaching on separation in my free presentation. Go check it out. All right, number 3, Oh, wait. Before I get to sign number 3, I almost forgot. So I gave you the Samadhi movie to go watch so that you could get this inner peace that I talk about. The other thing is to go read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I have all of my Twin Flame coaching students, all 7,000 of them. I have them start by reading that book. And yes, you heard me right, 7,000 Twin Flame coaching students to date. Go check that book out, guys. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Okay, sign number 3. You're living a life which proceeds from that inner peace. Now, when you look on the internet, you might hear somebody say, oh, well, you're living your best life, which is like the most cliched stereotype, and it's so overused that it's like cringy every time somebody goes, you just got to live your best life. Yeah. It's so cringy to even say that because it's so overdone. And then it's like, well, what does that even mean? And here's the thing, guys. What everybody else is going to tell you to do is to start with that. But you got to flip it. This is the first thing I teach my students in my paid coaching. My paid coaching program, I tell them you got to start with being. So my paid coaching program for Twin Flames, that's the first lesson. You don't start with doing. You start with being, guys. Everybody on earth, all the humans, man, they're all doing it backwards, right? They say, I got to do certain things, and then I'll have something, and then I'll be whatever, happy, sad, fulfilled, right? Or for your twin flame, you got to do something about your twin flame, or I got to go live my best life, whatever that is. It's like the most cliched stereotype. Everybody's saying it, you know. But I got to do that, whatever that is. And then I'll have my twin flame, and then I'll be happy. What I'm telling you is to start with being. You got to flip it. Everybody else is do, have, be. I'm saying it's be, do, have. And I'm not talking about be happy, which is a temporary emotional state. I'm talking about being. You're not being any particular thing. It's just being. Why? Because the soul is just being. If you want your twin flame to stop running, you have to do as the soul does, guys. And it's actually not doing. It's not action. It's being. Go watch the Samadhi movie. Go watch the Samadhi movie. Again, it cannot be overstated how great of a movie that is to get you to understand this being that I talk about. Now, when you start with being, you're just going to naturally start flowing with life. You're just going to naturally and organically start flowing with life, and everything that you really want to do, and it could even be a lot of stuff, and it will be a lot of stuff that you didn't even know you wanted to do, it'll just proceed from you. You'll just flow with life. And it's like there's this higher divine intelligence directing everything around you, and all of these cool experiences show up in your reality all the time. And you're not even focused on your twin flame. See, that's the cool thing about this, you guys. You already are your twin flame. You literally are them. The question is, what is you? Because you believe yourself to be a body and a mind. But I'm telling you that you are beyond the mind. You are consciousness. And consciousness is just being, just existing. But I digress. The cool thing about this is you don't have to do anything about your twin flame. You don't even have to have a conversation with them. Dude, they could have you blocked. Happens to my students all the time. Their twin flames got them blocked. You go look at the testimonial section on my website, newworldallstar.com. There's a bunch of people on there talking about, yeah, my twin flame had me blocked. And I started listening to Kurt, and my twin unblocked me. How about that? Yeah, how about that? It's like some magical-y shit or something, right? Yeah, well, it's not magic, guys. It's technology. Okay, consciousness is technology. This is metaphysical and spiritual technology. That's what this is, guys. This is real. Okay? Twin flames is real. It's just reincarnation. That's all it is, guys. Okay, sign number 4. This one should be obvious by now. You have no ulterior motive at all. You're not like being sneaky about it. You're not accidentally, like unconsciously, subconsciously trying to do something about it. I'm going to get my twin flame to come back. I got to make sure that I'm doing all this shit right. Right? You're not. You're not even worried about it. You remember sign number 1, it was you're not even focused on them because you don't experience that there is a them. There's no them. It's just you. There's only one of you. There's not 2 of you. There's not me and my twin flame. There's just me. The real me. And the soul doesn't have ulterior motives, guys. Soul doesn't care about outcome. Your mind does. You, the mortal human, you might care about it, but your soul doesn't. And remember, the soul isn't doing anything to you. Like, oh, the soul is making me do it this way or that way. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't seem fair that I can't have a goal here. And the soul is making me do that. That's not fair. Yeah, that's ego. If you're saying that stuff, yeah, that's the mind, guys. You are the soul. The mind is who you are not. And the mind is always trying to deceive you, guys, all the time. Trying to get you to focus on your twin flame, which is exactly why they run. The harder you focus on your twin flame mentally and emotionally and metaphysically, the harder they're going to run, guys. The harder they're going to run. Okay, sign number 5, knowing. And we already kind of talked about this. You just know. It's like when you go watch the Samadhi movie, you're going to be watching it and you're going to be like, I know this, I get this, and I know that I do, but I don't understand why, right? It's this knowing. You know your twin flame is coming back soon. It's intuition, guys. It's not thinking. It's not emotion. It's this weird, eerie knowing. It's kind of like deja vu. And that's about the best I can explain that one. And if that's happened to you, you're going to know it. So there you go. There's the 5 signs. And a pretty good introductory crash course on twin flames, I suppose. Good video today, you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Go check out my other videos on this YouTube channel. I've got a lot of free videos on this channel, guys, for twin flames. Go check them out. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next time. Bye now.